Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. And oh my goodness, what a SmackDown live! I even put it on the caption. Was that the best SmackDown yet since this new SmackDown live was brought on Tuesday nights? I mean, this, in my mind, in my heart, in my eyes, this was this was a really good, phenomenal show, to say the very least. I could even say, could this be the SmackDown of the year? It is pretty damn close to it. Um, as always, I'm with Anthony Florio, Michael Bullock, and Dee Woodson. We got a lot to talk about tonight. I was going to go on a major rant, but forget it. It's out the door. SmackDown, I forgive you. I know a lot of people were slamming you guys for well, I'll just openly admit it, the worst SmackDown pay-per-view of the year with Battleground. Some people calling it 2 out of 10, some giving it a 3 out of 10. I'm sorry, I am with the majority of the people. I disagree with Anthony Florio and Dee Woodson with their ratings. They gave it about 7 out of 10. Wholeheartedly disagree with this. And as a SmackDown guy that I am, I was offended. I was angry. I was disgusted with this show. But tonight, I think the SmackDown writers, Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, kind of realized that, okay, we made a mistake. That was a horrible pay-per-view event, and they gave us the biggest mea culpas I've ever seen in my life. And they started it off with a bullet. They started off with Kevin Owens, the new United States heavyweight champion, cutting a promo, basically saying that everything is right with the world, that they were going to do the Kevin Owens Open Challenge next week. Well, the next thing you know, AJ Styles comes out and he's like, you know what? I demand a rematch. I'm a former United States champion. A champion's prerogative. When you're a former champion, you automatically get the first rematch, the first shot at the title. Owens like, you know what? No, I'm not giving you the shot. You're not getting it tonight. You want to fight next week? Fine, we'll do it next week. I'm not saying anything else. Well, we had another interruption. And it was the Ayatollah of rock and rolla. Chris Jericho is back. Drink it in, man.
Drink it in, man.
So he comes back. He's like, you know what? Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. I'm back. I deserve a United States title shot. I never got my opportunity. And AJ's like, Chris, I hate to do this to you, and with all due respect, I'm glad that you're back on SmackDown Live. I mean, great upgrade, but I deserve the shot. I was the last champion. You've been gone for months. You know, we haven't seen you since April. So, unfortunately, I feel like I deserve it, and I'm sorry you don't. Jericho looks at AJ, and he's like, you interrupting me? Wait a minute. You're interrupting me, jumping in front of the line, thinking that you deserve the opportunity instead of me? Do you know what happens when you try to interrupt Chris Jericho saying that I need to move to the back of the line?
What happens?
Huh?
What happens?
Do you know what happens when you think that you're better than the Ayatollah of rock and rolla?
What happens, Fletch?
What happens?
AJ Styles, fellas, on 3. 1, 2, 3. You just made the list. AJ Styles just made the list, y'all. But then it gets even better, because then Shane McMahon comes out and he's like, you know, okay, This is awesome. I love the competition. Chris, welcome back to Smackdown Live. Great to see you. And I gotta say this. When this was all said and done, Shane McMahon drops a blockbuster announcement. Tonight, the main event of SmackDown Live, we're getting a United States Heavyweight Championship fight, triple threat. Chris Jericho versus AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. Man, are you kidding me? Okay, SmackDown Live, shut up, take my money, and I'll see you later tonight. Anthony Florio, how do you follow this? This was epic.
Well, I'll tell you, MF. I got to get that in there. Wow. Oh my gosh. Forgive me. I'm still trying to recover from the epicness that we saw here tonight. So, bear with me a little bit, please. I ask. Oh my gosh. Okay. Jericho returned much sooner than I expected. His shtick didn't really seem to electrify the crowd quite as much as it did prior to his exit, but he was still effective here. The finish to the U.S. title match tonight could be a surprise, given how close we are to SummerSlam. It really depends on which direction they are taking the U.S. title for that show. An Owens versus Jericho rematch is a natural fit, but that leaves Styles on a relatively low-stakes match. Or does it? We'll get into that in a little bit, but hands down, this was the opening segment. This was the segment of the night. I mean, and then to have Shane O'Mac come out and book these three in a triple threat main event for the United States Heavyweight Championship, which we're all still trying to recover from, by the way. It was that epic. Little spoiler alert. Whoop, a SmackDown spoiler. We haven't had that in a long time, have we? But spoiler alert. You thought this segment was epic? Just wait till the main event. Drink it in, man. That's all I can say on that. So, hands down, this was the segment of the night. No doubt about it. Great to see Jericho back. I was telling Bullock earlier, I was not expecting to see him back, but, well, Bullock, he's back sooner than expected. Segment of the night. Bullock, it's all yours. How do you follow that?
I don't even know how the heck you follow that. I mean, this was definitely the segment of the night. Kevin Owens relishing and saying everything was right, and he's once again the face of America and the United States champion, and AJ's basically like, I want my rematch. And he says, not tonight, but all right, if you want to do it next week, we'll do it. But we get the return of the Ayatollah of rock and roll, Chris Jericho. And I was literally surprised. I didn't expect him to be back this soon, but he's back. I'm glad he's back. And yes, he had his scarf and the list as well. And yeah, Jericho being back, drink it in, man. And boy, when he put AJ Styles on the list, I was literally happy to see him do that again. And to those fans, to the fans who thought Jericho wasn't going to be back anytime soon, you want to know what happens when you doubt the GOAT or the Ayatollah of rock and roll?
What happens?
Florio, you know what happens when people doubt him like that? To those fans?
That's on that too.
You just made the list! Great to see him back. And then Shane McMahon coming out and booking the main event, a triple threat United States Championship. This is AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. Whoa. And oh boy, when we get to that main event later on in this review, we're going to have a whole hell of a lot of fun with this, and we're going to have a lot to say about it. Segment of the night. Twisted Angel, Dee Woodson, come on in. Your thoughts on this opening segment and the return of the Ayatollah of rock and roll.
Definitely surprised to see Chris back. Definitely the segment of the night. Uh, I mean, we pretty much kind of start the show off with a mini Kevin Owen fit, and then I'm not even going to get into the main event because as the show was starting, I was just finishing SmackDown because I had to pause it for a little bit because of a phone call. But yeah, wow, that was just an awesome opening segment. Watching him follow Shane all the way to the back, saying, "Hey, wait, I don't want this match, and it's not fair," and yada yada yada. Same old song and dance, just a different nights. But yeah, it was a good segment. Great way to open SmackDown tonight. So Fletch, it's yours.
Didi, I just hold on 1 second. I just noticed something. How
Yeah.
on earth did your husband land on the list? What happened?
We don't know. We're thinking
no.
it's because
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that your husband, Dee Woodson, made the list?
Yeah, we're thinking it's because his first name's Kevin.
Oh.
I mean, he is literally blocked on Twitter from Chris Jericho. And we don't know why. We don't know why. We don't know what he's done. I can still get to Jericho on my Twitter. Kevin can get to anything for Jericho on any other social media except for Twitter. Twitter, he is blocked on, and we don't know why.
He probably said the magic word. Whatever that magic word was.
I don't know. I really don't. I can say is that we think it's because he's been pissed off with Kevin Owen for so long. We're thinking, okay, maybe Kevin, we'll just put him on the list anyway. I don't know, but
before we move on, I mean, I got a little something I want to say. I mean, my Uncle Brian, he once followed Kevin Owens on Twitter, and he basically said, "Oh, you're the IC champ, all right, the ice cream champ," and then he got blocked.
Yeah.
I think what happened is like you said, I think because of the fact that his name is Kevin, I think all the Kevins in the world, and I truly mean this, all the Kevins in the world, you just got put on the list of Jericho. Drink it in, man.
Drink it in, man.
That's the only thing we can think of. I have no idea what's going on. I mean, I've even tweeted
oh my
Jericho.
Goodness gracious.
I have tweeted Jericho. I've tried to ask. I have got no answer yet. So if I ever run into Jericho on the street, I'm going to ask him about it. And if I get blocked, so what? I don't care.
Well, here's the thing, Dee Woodson. Always, I mean, as Jerry the King Lawler once said, always keep your words soft and sweet because you might have to eat them.
Very true. All right, guys, we're just going to dive right into this first fight of the night. I mean, oh my goodness. It was Baron Corbin going one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura, a return fight from Battleground, and this time we actually had a legit result. The winner of the bout at 12 minutes and 14 seconds, the artist formerly known as Shinsuke Nakamura, he wins it. Anthony Florio, it is all yours, my friend.
I probably would say second best fight of the night here. About 3.25 stars, I think, maybe the best rating for this. Better match than they had on Sunday. I don't know why this couldn't have happened on Sunday, given how poorly that show was booked overall. Nakamura looks strong here, and hopefully this means he ends up in a high-profile match at SummerSlam. He needs a showcase match to really show WWE fans what they can expect from him in big match situations. Oh, don't worry. Oh, don't worry. That's you want to talk about a high-profile match? That's another little Smackdown spoiler. Keep an eye out for it. MF will let you know when that's coming. He'll get there. We'll get to that soon enough. But for me, no question about it. This was my second best fight of the night. 3 to 3.25 stars, much better than the match they had at Battleground. And like I said, we should have had this match at Battleground. That's all I can say. So that's all I can say on that. So Michael Bullock, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on this. And Shinsuke Nakamura wins it with MF's favorite move. And I'm surprised he didn't set it up. Kinshasa. Corey Graves. All yours, Bullock.
All right. Yeah, 3 stars is my rating on the match. Definitely better than the match we saw at Battleground. And the thing is, we got that clean finish from with the Kinshasa, and yeah, this was definitely a fun and entertaining match to say the very least. So yeah, nothing else to say except 3 stars is my rating. So Twisted Angel, Dee Woodson, your thoughts on this match?
It's about freaking time we have a clean ending on these matches. I mean, the one at the pay-per-view with the low blow, that was just uncalled for. And finally we get a clean match. Finally have Nakamura getting his retribution for all the crap that Corbin has put him through and everything. So hey, I'm all down with this. So yeah, I'm going to agree with y'all's rating, and all I can say is congratulations to Nakamura, and can't wait to see what's coming up next that we'll talk about later. So Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, 3 stars for the rating. Second best fight of the night. This was a solid match. Back and forth. I love the chemistry between these two men. And, now I kind of feel like let's put this in the back burner for now. Because I think there's going to be bigger fish to fry, especially for Nakamura. Oh, boy, does he got bigger fish to fry now. But we'll get into that in a little bit. I mean, this was a solid fight, good match. Nothing more to say about that. So what we did after that, into this, but there was a backstage segment. My girl, Dasha Fuentes, was chatting with Naomi, immediately interrupted by Natalya. And then Natalya went on a rip job. She tore through Naomi about the LED championship belt that she's made for herself, and saying that you have no respect for the legends like the Hart family, and that Natalya will basically restore the honor of the women's championship when she takes the belt off her at SummerSlam at the Barclays. Well, then Naomi fired back saying that, look, I didn't ruin the championship. I do respect tradition because of everything. I earned it, and stop bringing about the past or being stuck in the past, because I'm the present and I'm going to be the future, and you're going to get blinded by the glow in Barclays. Then Carmella, Dee Woodson, and Michael Bullock's favorite female wrestler right now, comes up by saying, okay, says that she doesn't mind with all the interruptions and all the stuff that's going around. Just remember and note that, I got this briefcase. I can do whatever I want with it, anytime, any place, anywhere. And who knows? You just might see me at Barclays in Brooklyn, cashing this baby in. Very possible. Anything is possible. Then we had a women's tag team fight. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, the besties, against Tamina and Lana. Winner of the bout in 6 minutes and 1 second. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Charlotte gets the boot, a big boot to the face on Lana for the 1, 2, 3. Michael Bullock, you lead off, my friend. What did you think about that match?
I thought it was a fine match. Too short for my liking. I'm going to give it about 1.25 to 1.5 stars as my rating on the fight. Wasn't anything special about it, but what about after the match? I mean, I mean, Tamina basically was ripping all over Lana after the match. I mean, what does the future hold for these two? I mean, I really don't know. I mean, so many things can happen. I mean, I really don't know. So, yeah, and what does the future hold for Charlotte and Becky Lynch as far as SummerSlam goes? We're just gonna have to wait and find out. So, 1.25 to 1.5 stars. Fine match for what it was, but like I said, nothing really overly special about it. So, Twist Angel Dee Woodson, our resident women's expert, your thoughts on this?
I'm trying to decide whether to talk about the match first or come down really hard on Fletch for that comment. Because, boy, I'm about to take you out behind the shed and binge over my checkered apron.
Oh, what did I... Oh, about the Carmella thing?
Uh-huh.
Ooh, you in trouble.
Uh-oh.
I'm a lot older than you,
I think
so
you're about to end up on Dee Woodson's list.
MF's going to get his.
I'm a lot older than all three of you, and so I'm about able to come down there and take care of business myself, clean some house. But enough said about that. As far as the rating, yeah, about 1.5 to 1 3/4. Fair match, really kind of short. Not much there. Tamina really she wasn't really, for being there as long as she has. She still don't really know what she's doing, it seems like, in the ring. The fallout between her and Lana there at the end, we kind of expected it to eventually happen. So not much more I have to say about it. So I'm going to pass it to Fletcher, who better watch his P's and Q's.
Oh my goodness. All right. Did not expect that to happen. Okay. Well, first off, let me go with the 1 and 1.5. I'll give you that. No doubts about it. Match. This was okay for what it was worth. It was cookie cutter. It was expected. Yes, Charlotte and Becky gets the victory. So you get the squashing of the beef for one night and one night only. And then on the other end, there's a lot of beef going on between Tamina and Lana. And I think what's happening is Tamina feels like you're holding me back. You're not good of a wrestler. You can't wrestle. Why am I carrying you? Why am I trying to stick my neck out for someone like you and you're not carrying any weight? So for me, this is a wasted space. This is wasted time. You're nowhere near. Now, I'm going to upset Michael Bullock here because I've already upset Dee Woodson. I might upset Michael Bullock right now. Could this be possible? This might be the opportunity that we could see a certain everything make her return to WWE?
Oh no.
Ruh-roh.
I mean, think about it. She did work with her in NXT, and they had somewhat of a decent chemistry together. Well, actually, no, wait. Scratch it. Forget it. No, I'm thinking of Nia Jax. I'm not thinking of Tamina. I went off rails. That was off rails. That was my fault. You get where I'm going with it. Maybe Tamina might bring in All Red Everything Eva Marie, because there was that hint about never say never. She could make a return to WWE, even though she kind of has been distancing herself from the World Wrestling Entertainment. As you can tell, she's doing a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows. She's trying to become a legitimate actress, but there's always that possibility, that opportunity where we could see Eva Marie return to WWE. Or Do they try to make sympathetic figure and maybe try to turn her face? But then you got an imbalance of faces to heels. Where do you go from there? Now, there was one rumor I'm hearing. Two certain ladies from NXT. Anthony, you and I both know this could happen.
Yes, 1,000 times. Yes, if it does.
And if it does happen, then basically me and Florio are basically jumping. Remember when Florio was talking about that Tigger moment? Him jumping like Tigger. Anthony would probably be doing the Winnie the Pooh thing, and I'll be jumping like a Tigger if this happens.
Actually, MF. I'll do you one better. I think we'll channel our inner Yakko and Wacko, if you know what I mean.
Animaniacs. Good call. So,
you know where I'm going.
Oh yes, I know where you're going. You don't even need to tell me. I know where you're going. So, is it possible? Could we see it? We'll have to wait and see. But remember, sometimes, and this is very interesting because after SummerSlam, there's always some call-ups from WWE. New stars arriving, guys from NXT moves up to the main roster. Is it possible that two of the most, I'll say it, beautiful from the NXT roster, other than that certifiable queen known as Asuka, because Asuka's coming up. It's almost guaranteed she's coming up now. But what about for these other two? Florio knows where I'm going with this. Could they be on the way up? And if they are, please bring them to SmackDown Live. Because right now, I think we need it. We need a shot in the arm in SmackDown Live. Even though we're in a good position, but we need some talent to push us over the top. We get this, game over. So, Anthony, go ahead. It's all yours.
Oh my Lord, how do I follow this? I mean, what a turn of events here. I mean, Edie Woodson ready to take MF behind the woodshed. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. But nonetheless, all kidding aside, what did you guys rate this? About 1.5 to 2, from what I heard. Yeah, so
about 1.5 for me.
Yeah. Bo told me this was the worst fight of the night. He even said, "Hey Floyd, I think this is the worst fight of the night." Yeah, I'll have to give him that. About 1.5 to 2. I think Tamina's passable at best, and Lana, as much as I love her, she really doesn't belong wrestling on the main roster. And I'm hoping that this does not turn into a long-term feud. And if you want to keep Charlotte and Becky busy for SummerSlam, I say call up the iconic duo from NXT. And yes, I know where you're going with this, MF, because that was my trade of thought. Great minds think alike, as we always say.
Wait a minute, are you talking about Billy Kay and Peyton Royce?
You know it, Bully. By God, I think he got it. Yes, he did. Billy Kay and Peyton Royce.
I think the word iconic pretty much gave it away.
Because, well, and from a beauty standpoint, MF and I could tell you stories for days. I mean, we love them. There's no doubt about it. And, oh yeah, if they show up, MF and I will channel our inner Yakko and Wacko, and we will let out one big old hello nurse, if you know what I mean, because they are something. They're good wrestlers. I mean, they've gotten better. And, I mean, they've been in that women's title picture for quite a bit. I mean, they're obviously not getting the shot at TakeOver Brooklyn 3, because we all know who's getting that shot. That's going to be Ember Moon. And I think that's the night Asuka's undefeated streak will come to an end. And then I think Asuka will get called up to the main roster and SmackDown Live, considering that, you know, they were teaming her up with Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch at some house shows, like Michael Bullock has, you know, gone on and told me about many times. And if they get Asuka, and if they can get Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, oh Lord, Monday Night Raw's women's division is in big trouble. There's no way Monday Night Raw would be able to rebound from that. If they get Asuka and Kay and Royce all on SmackDown Live, the SmackDown Live women's division will be far and away the best women's division in any major wrestling promotion. Better than the knockouts in GFW, TNA. Better than the Women of Honor and Ring of Honor. Maybe even better than some of the women in Japan. But God help me if that happens. Just a trade of thought. Read into it what you will, as I always say. So 1.5 to 2. And honestly, this was the only real one of only, I could always say maybe one of two, only 2 lowlights on this show. This was one of them. There will be another lowlight a little bit later on. So, MF, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say except we have a segment coming up. My sides are aching just thinking about this.
Could we just say, I can't believe and how honored and blessed I get to do this one? I mean, first off, they review the match from Battleground, Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal in the Punjabi prison. Fine, no problem. Then Jinder Mahal comes out basically demanding to find out who his opponent's going to be at SummerSlam. Well, lo and behold, John Cena comes out. All right, boo birds from all the fellas around the world, but all the ladies and the kiddies, it's time to celebrate. It's your hero. Super Cena has arrived. So, of course, there's a nice little back and forth between John Cena and Jinder Mahal. And then, once it was announced that Cena's saying that I'm going to fight you at SummerSlam, I'm Super Cena, I will be a 17-time champion, cue the trumpets, so long for now. He's on his way out. The next thing we know, Daniel Bryan's music hits. Daniel, what are you doing here? Well, he said, he knows that Cena wants to make history. Okay, fine. But this is the land of opportunity. You got to earn your right to the fights. You don't get the fights. It doesn't matter who you are. And even John Cena, you must fall in line with the rest of them. Brilliant. Stupendous. I'm even happy with that. I say, all right, Daniel, right on. Good for you. Good for you, my friend. For once, I actually agree with you. And for once, I'm on your side about that. Don't give John Cena the opportunity at the title because of his namesake. He's got to earn it. He's got to fight for it. So who are you going to throw? It can't be that bad. Nakamura versus John Cena next week on SmackDown Live. And the winner of that fight gets to fight Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam for the WWE title. I wish you could see me right now in my, I wish I could turn my camera on, but I won't because my mind is blown. Are you kidding me? Nakamura versus Cena? What? Oh my God. How many people in WWE world lost their minds on this one? This is the biggest announcement that SmackDown has done in a very long time. And just the thought of seeing the King of the Strong Style and one of the greatest in Japan versus John Cena one-on-one in the ring. Okay, I know the obvious choice is Cena wins and he fights Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam. I get it. I understand it. Even everybody was saying, oh, great, Cena's going to bury Nakamura. I got a thought and a theory. And I want to throw this at you guys. And with the rivalry that's been going on with Corbin and Nakamura lately, maybe this is better. Because, as you know, Roman Reigns has been barking up the tree lately. And as a matter of fact, he took a shot at Cena, then took a shot at him again on Twitter. And there's been a little bit of a Twitter war lately between John Cena and Roman Reigns. I mean, so let's step back for a minute. And let's think about this. Obviously, they want to do the four-way for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam. Fine, whatever. They scale it back. What if they do something where maybe Cena shows up on Raw, gets into the ire of Roman Reigns after he got to fight Nakamura? So let's do this. Hypothetical. For the hell of it. Let's give Nakamura the win. Let Nakamura go on and fight Jinder Mahal for the WWE title at SummerSlam. So that takes Cena out of the picture. There's this Twitter beef going on. So why don't we maybe do a match? Decide who the real number one contender is. So on the Raw side, you got Joe, you got Braun Strowman, and you got Roman Reigns. Let the three battle it out, whatever. Have Roman lose some way, somehow. Let Roman come to SmackDown Live. Or Cena can go to Raw, vice versa. Remember, Cena's a free agent. He can jump between shows. So let Cena fight Roman at SummerSlam. Let Nakamura move on and fight Jinder Mahal. Let Jinder drop the belt to Nakamura. We get the golden moment, but then we get an undercut. Money in the bank. Cash in. Baron Corbin strikes. And he walks out with the belt. I don't think nobody would be angry with this. If you think about it. But to get there, you got to do the right thing. I'm sorry, Cena fans. I know you're going to come after me for this. For me, the best way to do this is have Shinsuke Nakamura win and move on. Because I don't think people want to see Cena win that belt for the 17th time. Sorry, because everybody values Ric Flair's record. You tied it. They don't want you to pass it. I say, let the record be as is. You don't need it. You don't need to break the record. At least in my eyes, you don't. But it also sets up the dynamic down the line from Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. You're going to have two big storylines to work with. A championship program with Nakamura and Baron Corbin, two guys that the IWC actually genuinely like. Then you can do Roman Reigns, do something with him. Because chances are, and there's a lot of rumors about the future of Brock Lesnar as well. Cena go over to the red side. I know it's going to be painful to watch because Cena leaving SmackDown to go to Raw. That's going to be a little bit of a blow for us. But wouldn't it be better to do it this way? Your thoughts. Anthony Florio, you lead off.
I'll get to your question after, MF. Because I really need to I have to process all of this. So, like I said, bear with me on that. Well, let me just say this: as far as the segment goes, I'm gonna call for I'm gonna do something very rare. I'm gonna call for co-segments of the night here. I mean, the opening segment was great. This was just as great. I honestly cannot put one over the other. It obviously means Randy Orton is out of the picture, and I'm hoping it means some time off for the guy. I mean, he's had a rough past 6 months, and I'm very surprised to see them give away Cena and Nakamura so soon. Makes me wonder if we could be in for another possible Baron Corbin attack, which could happen. But think about this: John Cena and Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh, Bullock and I talked about this during our Smackdown chat, and we said, and we quote, "This has 5 stars written all over it." We might have to rescind that because of something else that's going to be announced for next week, which could go down as the biggest SmackDown Live of 2017 to this point. And what a way to start the month of August, if I do say so myself. Oh my Lord in heaven. Co-segments of the night, but I think in this case we need co-segments of the night because honestly, both of these segments were top-notch and so damn good. I can't one over the other. They were both so good. And now Nakamura and Cena next week. I mean, and for the right to face Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship. I'll say it like this: my heart wants to see Nakamura win that thing. I would love to see Nakamura get a WWE Championship opportunity at SummerSlam against Jinder Mahal. They've been doing that match on some house shows recently. But unfortunately, my gut is telling me John Cena's going to win this thing, and Cena's going to fight Mahal at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship. And why do I have this iffy feeling that Shinsuke Nakamura could be going up against a certain phenomenal one at SummerSlam? I don't know. Just my gut talking here, folks. So, my Lord. But nonetheless, I'm with you, MF. I want to see Nakamura win that. I really do. Because everybody's so sick and tired of Cena always getting, the big opportunity and everything else. And him holding back these, big name young talents that the IWC want to see succeed. Fresh face in the main event scene. I've been barking for that for years. And now they're finally listening to me. Well, they're not going to listen to us here. I hate to burst your bubble, MF, but I got to be honest. I got to be the man who tells it like it is. I think John Cena is going to go over because how many dirt sheets have been reporting John Cena, Jinder Mahal, SummerSlam, WWE Championship? Tons.
Even our own Derek Ferrera.
I was about to say that, Bullet, including our own Derek Ferrera. Falcon Striker 445. He even said it. As much as I want to see Nakamura get his chance, don't worry. He's going to get his chance. It's just not going to be at the biggest party of the summer, I'm afraid. He's going to get his chance. But I think it's going to be on the grandest stage of them all. Come next April 8th, 2018, in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, New Orleans, Louisiana. Because I'm going to call for this right now. I think Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win the Royal Rumble. You heard it here first. Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win the Royal Rumble, thus earning a WWE Championship opportunity on the grandest stage at WrestleMania 34. And I think it will be against a certain phenomenal one. And if we get that, it's not only going to be the greatest WWE Championship match of all time. It's not only going to be the greatest WWE Championship match in the history of WrestleMania. It could also be the greatest match in WrestleMania history. It's WWE Championship match in history. And to this day, I still think it's Cena and Punk for Money in the Bank 6 years ago. They do this at Mania. It could be possibly the greatest match of all time. Michael Bullock, how do you follow that?
Boy, I don't even know how the heck am I going to follow that, but yeah, this is co-segments of the night. I'm gonna have to say the same thing as well, but yeah, Jinder Mahal wanted an opponent for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Cena comes out, and we're like, yep, Cena's gonna get that opportunity, but then basically, hold on a minute, Daniel Bryan's here, and he says, you know what? Even though you are John Cena, this is the land of opportunity. And next week, you will face Shinsuke Nakamura for the right to face Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam. And I'm like saying to myself, what? A dream match is going to happen on free TV? Man, I already cannot wait for SmackDown Live next week. I mean, these two going at it, wow. It's going to be a whole hell of a lot of fun with these two going at it. And it goes, as much as I really want to see it, as much as I want to see Shinsuke Nakamura fight Jinder Mahal for the title, I hate to say it, but I think Cena's going to be the one to do it, and I think Cena's going to go over because, remember, this is the WWE creative team we're talking about. We're not running the show here. I mean, if we were running the show, we would definitely go with Fletcher's theory. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more to say except this was co-segment of the night. So, Twisted Angel, Dee Dee Woodson, your thoughts on this segment?
Yeah, it was definitely a co-segment of the night. It was definitely a very surprising segment, and we've already seen where Jinder has mentioned that he wants to face Cena. We've seen Cena in Twitter wars with Roman Reigns, and we've even had just recently Rusev even post something to Roman Reigns. So there's no telling what's going to end up going down with all the Twitter storylines that they're building here. But this right here, I mean, we knew Nakamura was in the contendership eventually for the title. Kind of surprised they brought him up for that now. But I'm not surprised to see Cena in that title picture, though. And even Cena mentioned that to Jinder that he's Super Cena. I mean, that's pretty much what all the internet has given the title of, because he's just not not one that gets beaten very often. He does, it's a big deal. And seeing as his future brother-in-law was the one who made this match, I mean, it's going to be real exciting next week out here in Cleveland, Ohio. Too bad I won't be able to see it except for on Memorex, but because of a previous commitment. But it's going to be an awesome match to see Cena with Nakamura. As far as who I think is going to win, I've got to go with everybody else and say, more likely it will be Cena, because it's still a little early for Nakamura to be actually, I think, facing Jinder, because he really hasn't, done much to get into that title picture yet, in my opinion. But we'll have to wait and see what comes out of it and everything. So not much more I have to say about it, so I'll toss it back to Fletch.
Yeah, and then after that epic moment, we actually had to cool things down a bit. So we had a tag team fight, Ty Dillinger and Sami Zayn versus Aiden English and Maria Kanellis at ringside. And the next thing we do, and the winner of the bout, in a little over 5 minutes, Sami Zayn and Ty Dillinger. It was the Haluva kick by Sami Zayn on Mike Canales for the 1, 2, 3. All right. I believe Anthony Floyo, you lead off. So, what did you think about this match?
I got to be honest, this was the worst fight of the night for me. About 1 to 1.5, I can give it. I mean, this was your basic TV house show quality bout, if I'm being quite honest. And these guys deserve better, honestly. I mean, because these are 4 good workers, and I felt they deserved more time. They only got 5 minutes, and after we're done with this, in a couple segments from now, it'll be worth it. But no, this could have been better. I mean, Zayn, continues to get the best of Canales, and it kind of feels like Mike Canales. I think he's kind of out of favor with the SmackDown creative staff before he even started with the company. I mean, he gets the win in the first moment there, and then all of a sudden he loses at Battleground, and then he loses here, and then he eats the fall here with the haluva kick, or as I call it, the hell of a kick, as I say. But and Aiden English goes under again. I mean, they put Aiden English over Ty Dillinger in the pre-show at Battleground, which surprised the hell out of all of us. I mean, not only does he deliver another Robert Goulet, Luciano Pavarotti-like performance, and you know how much I love those. And but nonetheless, this could have been better, but unfortunately, 5 minutes, that's all we got, and nothing really special or nothing really to write home about. So for me, this was the worst fight of the night. 1 to 1.5 stars, and this was the second of the only 2 lowlights during this show, the other being the women's match. So nothing left to say here. Michael Bullock, we agreed on this during our SmackDown live chat, but just reiterate anyway.
Yeah, I literally have to say this was the worst fight of the night. 1 to 1.5 stars is my rating on the match. So yeah, really nothing more to say about it. So Twist Angel, Dee Dee Woodson, come on in. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'll agree with the rating. It was, not the best match in the world. And, all the fans are really being hard on Mike and Maria. Worst gimmick ever is what I'm hearing. Pictures of people gagging or throwing up. And I think Kevin read somewhere that they're starting to pull Mike off of a lot of the non-televised shows. So I'm wondering if they're getting ready to just do a major repackage because of fan reactions to the couple. And it's nice that they, it's a real life couple. They're working together just like Miz and Maurice. But the people are comparing them to Miz and Maurice, and that's just, I think that's where it's really taking a head here, is because they're not taking them, talent wise. They're taking them gimmick wise, and so I think the gimmick does need to be worked on a little bit and repackaged, and maybe then we'll actually see something coming out of that camp with them. But yeah, not entirely surprised that Zayn and Dillinger won on this one, but not much more I have to say on it. So Fletch, it's yours.
I got to give it at least 1 star. I'll give it for the effort, for what it's worth, and then we'll just move on to the next thing that we had, which was, the New Day was going to come out to celebrate the fact that they were the new WWE, once again, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. But before we do anything, beat down. They got, in the immortal words of R-Truth, they got by the Usos. The Usos came out and just beat the living daylights out of the New Day. Kofi took the worst of it. He went literally face first into the side of the staging. It was a brutal beatdown. Never seen anything like it. This was a thing of beauty, and it set us up for the main event of the evening, the triple threat match for the United States heavyweight title. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. And the winner of the bout, in about 15 minutes and 45 seconds, United States heavyweight champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles. And more importantly, Kevin Owens did not even hesitate. He reissues the rematch clause in. It's going to be AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens 1 week from tonight on Smackdown Live. We're doing it again. Singles match, one-on-one for the titles. Michael Bullock, you, my friend, get to lead off on the main event.
Well, you know I got to do this. That happened. My goodness. What a main event we just saw. Florio and I had a lot of fun with this during our SmackDown chat tonight, and fight of the night without a shadow of a doubt. And I'm going to give this 4.5 to 4 3/4 of a star. I mean, we had the Shakespearean drama all around here, and one more near fall, I would have given it the full 5, but it was awesome and probably one of the best SmackDown Live main events I've seen in a long time. Styles is once again the United States champion, and didn't take long for him to invoke his rematch clause. Next week, it'll be AJ Styles defending the United States Championship against Kevin Owens, on top of John Cena against Shinsuke Nakamura. Man, if you thought this SmackDown was epic, man, you ain't seen nothing yet come next week with those two big matches. So, fight of the night, 4.5 to 4 3/4 of a star. Dee Woodson, your thoughts on this epic main event?
Well, I said earlier, we had a mini Kevin Owens fit at the beginning. We had a major Kevin Owens fit at the end of the night. So we kind of got bookmarked here with Kevin Owens fits. I mean, wow. I'm not surprised that they went ahead and put the title on AJ Styles, seeing, as Kevin Owens, took it from him at the pay-per-view. And I can kind of partly see Kevin Owens' point about AJ stealing the win, since it was Kevin Owens who put the move on Jericho, but AJ breaking the pin up just to do his own pin. So I can understand that, but man, that was an awesome match. So I'm gonna agree with Bullock's rating. Not much more I have to say about it. Just definitely fight of the night. Definitely an awesome match, to say the least. And Kevin Owens, you just need to grow up and accept what's been handed to you. So, Fletch, it's yours.
So close to a 5-star rating. It's dangerously close. But I got to go 4 3/4. This was an unbelievable main event. And Monday Night Raw, you just got put on notice. This is how you book a main event. And don't get me wrong, you guys have been doing great lately. You've been doing a lot better. Now we finally feel like we got competition on our hands. And we see you guys nipping at the heels, so we know you're there. We're not idiots. We're not dummies. We know you're there. But now SmackDown Live just upped their game tonight. Like, they know they kind of let one get away on Sunday night, and that was a horrific pay-per-view. And what do? By giving you almost, and in my mind, practically the greatest SmackDown since they started, since we've done this 1 year ago. Think about this. This is literally 1 year since we started the SmackDown Live thing every Tuesday night. And oddly enough, on the anniversary of the Cerebral Smack Talk, we practically got the greatest SmackDown Live since we've been doing this. There's nothing to say. This is amazing. So 4 3/4, fight of the night, no doubt about it. I'll even go and say maybe top 10 for fights of the year. It's probably in my top 10 list now. Anthony, what says you?
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt. Before I get to the main event, as far as what you just said about greatest SmackDown lives of all time, not quite. There was one SmackDown Live I thought was better. That was the final SmackDown Live of 2016, the one in Chicago, the one where American Alphas won the tag team titles, and we had that great women's match with Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch, and we also had AJ Styles successfully defending the WWE Championship in an amazing John Cena segment. I said that was the best SmackDown Live of all time. This one was very close. Cutout matches, if you really think about it. So I can't quite say greatest of all time. Is it the best of the year? Most certainly. I'll have more on that in a minute. As far as this is concerned, I'm going to do it anyway. 4.5 to 5 stars. This, oh my gosh, this. I can honestly say this is the TV main event of the year. We've seen some good main events this year, but I can honestly say, SmackDown Live or Raw, this was the TV main event of the year, hands down. Oh my gosh. Excellent performances all around. The finish wasn't too surprising considering the very hasty and unsatisfying conclusion to the pay-per-view match. It makes me wonder if Jericho's appearance was not finalized until very late, and it most certainly had an impact on the booking for this feud on Sunday. Lord in heaven, I mean, this, when it comes to triple threat matches, it ranks up there. We've seen a lot of memorable triple threat matches in the history of professional wrestling. I mean, the first one that comes to mind, another match that AJ Styles was in and won. MF knows where I'm going with this, and I'm sure Didi does too. Bullet doesn't. The Unbreakable 3-Way. Hello. Remember that? That was a 5-star classic. How about the triple threat at WrestleMania 20 with Triple H, Chris Benoit, and Shawn Michaels? That was a 5-star classic. I'll throw in the return match at Backlash, same 3 men. That was more like 4.5, but that was another near 5-star. How about WrestleMania 30 when Daniel Bryan went up against Randy Orton and Batista and won the title? That was another near 5-star classic. I mean, so many incredible triple threat matches over the years, but this one, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, ranks up there, no doubt about it. Greatest of all time, not quite, but most definitely in the conversation. Y'all pretty much touched on it. I mean, you want to talk about Shakespearean drama at its absolute finest, my friends. If you missed this tonight, I sincerely hope you DVR'd it at worst. Because if you didn't, you're going to be scrambling to find this. You want to talk about recommendations for what you need to see on this show? This is far and away number 1. You better go out of your way to see this match, because if you don't, you're a stupid idiot and a muttonhead if you miss out on this. Because this was Shakespearean drama and scientific chain wrestling at its absolute finest. Well done, Kevin Owens. Well done, Chris Jericho. Well done, AJ Styles. That's a main event right there. And as much as this Raw guy hates to admit it, yes, MF, SmackDown Live just put Raw on notice. And I think, in all honesty, after all the negative publicity and negative backlash that Battleground received, mainly from Larry Zonka of 401mania.com, who gave it a 2 out of 10, and Derek Ferreira, who didn't even bother doing a video review, saying it was trash as bleep, and a young man who I follow on YouTube by the name of Vintage Wrestling Fan, he went as far as to call it the worst pay-per-view of the decade. Well, SmackDown Live more than made up for that tonight. Oh, my Lord in heaven. I don't know what else there is to say. 4.5 to 5 stars. Far and away the fight of the night. And I could even say TV fight of the year. Nothing more to say, man. I don't know what else there is to say. We gotta get an overall review here. My Lord. Meth, I'm all set. Let's move on to our overall review.
Oh, Fletch, are you there?
I hope we didn't lose him.
Yeah,
Actually, no,
really
you
hope
didn't
we-
lose me. I'm sorry.
Sorry
I
about that,
muted my.
Fletch.
No, that's okay. I muted my mic just temporarily. I didn't realize that you guys were done. So, well, we just dive right into the overall review. So, I always do it open form. So whoever wants to jump in on this, go ahead. What did you think about tonight's SmackDown Live?
Okay, I'll give it a whirl here. Let's see. How do I rate this the right way? I think 8.5 to 9 out of 10 is the correct rating for this show tonight. I mean, if we didn't have those two so-so matches, the women's tag and that men's tag team match, if it wasn't for those two tag team matches, this would have been straight up a perfect 10. But I can only give this 8.5, maybe 9. I think maybe 9 out of 10, honestly. Take a half away for those tag team fights. The main event. Do I have to spell it out any further? Go out of your way to see that. A very good, a much better match with Shinsuke Nakamura and Baron Corbin. A brilliant attack by the Usos on the New Day, continuing that angle and that feud. And then those two amazing segments. That opening segment with Owen, Styles, and Jericho and Shane O'Mac, and then the segment with Cena, Mahal, and Daniel Bryan. And oh my gosh, I mean, let me see. Nakamura versus Cena, and AJ versus Owens in the United States Heavyweight Championship. We're looking at 2 possible 5-star classics. Should be very good for next week. It makes me wonder, though, if Baron Corbin or Jinder Mahal or both could get involved in the match in those matches and tarnish them. Honestly, I cannot see anybody else but John Cena taking on Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam. And I don't think Nakamura needs to take a loss to Cena on TV at this point in his run. Owens and Styles should end with AJ retaining, because the show is much better off with him holding U.S. title open challenges every week and facing major opponents to carry pay-per-views. Nothing more to say. 9 out of 10. And get ready. You thought this SmackDown Live was amazing? That ain't nothing compared to what we're going to get next week. 9 out of 10. Michael Bullock, or whoever wants it next, it's yours.
What did you give it, Florio?
Solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree. This was definitely a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, you basically pretty much touched on everything that we saw here tonight. So nothing else to say. Whoever wants it next, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll agree. 9 out of 10. Very good SmackDown. Very good matches. Not a lot of low points. Lots of story building. A lot going on. Period. Definitely made up for a lot of a lot of things that's been going on with SmackDown and everything. Definitely putting Raw on notice, big time here. So, you know, Raw, keep working on your storylines, keep trying to improve your matches and match quality, and who knows, maybe you'll take the A show back, but it won't be anytime soon because I think SmackDown's pretty much got control of that one. I mean, wow, this was really a very, very good show, to say the least. So I'm heading out. I will see you guys next week for Ridiculously Raw.
All right, have a good night, Didi. I agree. I got to give this at least a 9. I could even go as high as 9.25. I don't think I'll go anything more higher than that because this was really good. I mean, they nailed it. I mean, other than the 2 fights like Anthony alluded to, everything else was amazing. So, yeah, nothing more to say. We're just going to dive right in. I got 2 weeks worth of Lucha Underground stuff, and that's a combined 6 fights total, and it's the second round of the Dario Cueto Cup. So, we started it off with Jeremiah Crane versus Talia Vicarin. The winner of the bout was Jeremiah Crane. He moves on to the, I believe it's to the quarterfinal. Actually, I believe he goes to quarterfinals now. So, it is basically quarterfinal round. The next fight that we had was Mil Muertes with Katrina versus Paul London. Mil Muertes moves on. He goes to the quarters. He will fight. He moves on to the next round. The next fight we had was Phoenix versus Marty the Moth Martinez. The winner of the bout was Phoenix. He moves on. So that ended the first night of the shows. So the second week, which went down last Wednesday, it was Pindar versus Cage. The winner of the bout via disqualification was Pindar. He beats the machine called Cage and advances. The next fight we had was Dante Fox versus Son of Havoc. Dante Fox wins the match. He advances in the tournament. And in the main event of the evening for this one, it was Prince Puma versus PJ Black. And Prince Puma has advanced. He moves on. And he will be fighting in the next round of the Dario Cueto Cup. And I believe the only people we have now left, I want to see if that's everybody that I actually cover. Actually, no. The next fight that needs to go down is we still got the Mac, the Dark, Pentagon Dark, Drago, and Tajano. They all are remaining in the tournament. So they all have to get opportunities to fight. So they will definitely be fighting in the next show. And then who knows what they're going to add to the tournament, what else they're going to add in the tournament itself. But we're getting down to it. We're down to the final. We're going to be going down to the final 8. And so far, we got Jeremiah Crane, Mil Muertes, Phoenix, Pindar, Dante Fox, and Prince Puma. They all have advanced to the quarterfinals of the Dario Cueto Cup. And like we said, when it's all said and done, the last man standing gets the opportunity to fight Johnny Mundo for the Lucha Underground World Championship at Ultimo Lucha 3. And that will be one heck of an event and one heck of a show, to say the very least. So, you know what? That is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is our show for the evening. I want to thank Anthony Florio, Michael Bullock, Dee Woodson, as always. And just to give you guys a big heads up and to give you what's coming up, or what we have planned coming up. Well, the next thing we have on our show, ladies and gentlemen, is I am well, what I'm gonna do is we're basically gonna have our next it's strictly sports. It's strictly sports. It goes down this Friday night, and let me get the docket very quickly. So just hold tight, ladies and gentlemen. And so this is what we're gonna do on Strictly Sports. This was a loaded show, as a matter of fact. Uh, Even Anthony Floyo ran down the docket to you guys once, but let's run it down one more time as O.J. Simpson got parole. O.J. Simpson gets parole after his robbery and kidnapping charges back in Las Vegas. He will be early released in October, so he will finally be free after a number of years. So we'll get into that. Dave Gilliman got fired as the Panthers general manager. Hugh Freeze resigns at Ole Miss despite some very controversial things that happened at the university. John Wall gets a supermax extension with the Washington Wizards, 5 years, $225 million. He's definitely laughing to the bank. Carlos Correa going on the disabled list. JD Martinez gets traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks, and boy, is he been delivering with Arizona lately since he got traded. And then, of course, we're gonna give our tip of the caps and our homage to ABC6 chief sports guy, Ken Bell. He's retiring and leaving, so we're gonna Anthony, myself, and Mike Bullock will share our stories and favorite moments of him. And then, of course, you're gonna want to see this. I'm gonna be giving you a complete rundown, a preview of UFC 214. This is a mega show, guys. You don't want to miss that. And then, of course, the Major League Baseball Power Rankings. It's back. We're going to have that all for you guys, 10:30 Eastern on the Tone 25, YouTube.com on Friday night. So until then, you know the routine, everybody. Jose and Pounds. Have a good night. So long for now. And bye-bye, everybody.